Imagine you're walking through the bustling streets of Rome. The sun is warm, the crowd is alive. Suddenly, your whole world shatters. In an instant, you're no longer free. This isn't a nightmare. This was a terrifying reality for millions in ancient Rome, and it could happen in ways you would never expect. Today, we're not just talking about history. We're showing you the secret paths that led from freedom to chains. What you're about to discover will change how you see the ancient world forever. The most common way to become a slave? War. But it's not what you think. When the legions conquered a new land, the real horror began. Entire cities were rounded up. Men, women, children, everyone. They were considered spoils of war, human loot. But here's the chilling part. The soldiers didn't see them as people. They saw them as walking coins. Each captive had a price tag, and the journey to the slave market was often more deadly than the battle itself. Shackled together, they were marched for weeks, sometimes months. Those who stumbled, fell. Those who fell were often left behind. They were already a lost profit. Survival meant reaching the market, but what waited for them, there was a different kind of hell. Before they were sold, they were prepared, stripped bare, cleaned, and oiled to look healthy. It was a terrifying inspection. Their teeth were checked, their muscles felt, their bodies examined for scars or defects. Imagine standing on a raised platform, a wooden block called the catasta, with a placard hanging around your neck. This placard, the titulus, listed your skills, your origin, your age, and any hidden flaws. It was your human price tag. A doctor might even be present to guarantee the merchandise was sound. And here's something most people don't know. To show a slave was new, freshly captured from outside the empire, their feet were whitened with chalk. A simple white mark that screamed, "I am new to this nightmare." The bidding would start, and your life was sold to the highest offer. Your name was gone. Your family was gone. Your future now belonged to a stranger. But war wasn't the only door to this abyss. Your own father could sell you. Under a Roman law known as patria potestas, a father had absolute power over his children. He could legally sell them into slavery. This wasn't common for Roman citizens, but it happened, especially if a family fell into extreme poverty. They might sell a child to save the rest of the family from starvation. It was a desperate, heartbreaking choice. Imagine your own parent making the decision that your freedom was less valuable than a bag of coins. This power was so absolute, he could even reclaim the child and sell them again. And again, the law only stepped in after the third time, declaring the father had forfeited his rights. A terrifying loophole in the fabric of family life. And then there was debt. Debt was a monster that devoured freedom in Rome. If you owed someone money and couldn't pay it back, the consequences were dire. After a court ruling, you had 30 days to settle your debt. If you failed, you could be arrested and held in chains for 60 days. During this time, you were brought to the market on 3 consecutive market days, and the amount of your debt was announced. It was a public shaming, a last chance for someone to step in and pay for you. If no one did, the creditor had a horrifying choice. They could sell you into slavery across the Tiber River. Why across the river? Because a Roman citizen technically couldn't be enslaved within the city of Rome itself. It was a legal fiction that provided little comfort. You were still sold, just to a foreign master. Or, if there were multiple creditors, they had the right to divide the debtor's body. While historians debate if this was carried out literally, the law itself was a tool of pure terror. But sometimes, people chose this path. They sold themselves into slavery. Why would anyone do this? For survival. Life for the poor in Rome could be brutal. No home, no food, no security. By selling yourself to a wealthy master, you secured a roof over your head and guaranteed meals. Some even saw it as a twisted career move. If you had a specific skill, like accounting or teaching, you could be sold to a powerful household, live in relative comfort, and even hope to earn your freedom one day. It was the ultimate gamble. You'd bet your freedom on the chance of a better life. But there was another, even stranger reason. Some free men conspired with a partner to be sold as a slave. After the sale, they would escape, prove their freeborn status in court, and be released. Then, they would split the sale money with their accomplice. It was a high-risk fraud, because if you were caught, the punishment was to become a real slave permanently. The world outside the city walls was just as dangerous. Pirates roamed the Mediterranean, and they were the stuff of nightmares. They didn't just raid ships, they raided coastlines. Entire villages could be snatched in the middle of the night. If you were a traveler, a sailor, or just lived near the sea, you were a target. Julius Caesar himself was famously captured by pirates as a young man. He joked with his captors that he was worth a much higher ransom than they were asking. After he was freed, he raised a fleet, hunted them down, and had them all crucified. But for tens of thousands of others, there was no rescue. They ended up on the same slave blocks in markets like Delos, a tiny island that could reportedly sell up to 10,000 people in a single day. A vacation by the sea could end with a chain around your neck. Even if you were born free in Rome, you weren't completely safe. The law was clear: a Roman citizen could not be enslaved. But there were exceptions. If a Roman woman had a relationship with a slave, and the slave's master had forbidden it 3 times, she could be enslaved by that same master. Her status as a citizen was stripped away. Also, if a free person tried to evade the census to avoid paying taxes, the state could punish them by selling them into slavery. It was a powerful threat to keep citizens in line. But the most terrifying danger came from criminals. Kidnapping was rampant. Children were especially vulnerable. They could be snatched from the street and sold to a distant part of the empire where no one knew their story. They were called plagium, and it was a constant fear for Roman parents. Your citizenship was a shield, but it wasn't unbreakable. And here is perhaps the most shocking truth of all. Freedom, once lost, was almost impossible to regain. A slave was property, a talking tool in the eyes of the law. They could be bought, sold, tortured, and killed with little consequence for their owner. Yet, some did find their way back. The process was called manumission. A master could free a slave out of gratitude, for long service, or as part of their will. Some slaves were allowed to earn their own money, a peculium, and could eventually save enough to buy their own freedom. This was the dream that kept many alive. The hope that one day they could stand before a magistrate, be touched by a ceremonial rod, and hear the words that declared them liber, free. But even then, they were not truly equal. They became freedmen, a class that carried the stigma of their past for the rest of their lives. So, you see, the paths to slavery were everywhere. In the glory of a military triumph, in the desperation of an empty stomach, in the fine print of a contract, in the shadow of a pirate's ship, and even in a father's hand. It was the dark engine that powered the Roman Empire, a system built on the broken lives of millions. Every magnificent aqueduct, every grand Colosseum, every straight Roman road was built on a foundation of human suffering we can barely comprehend. The line between being a citizen and being property was terrifyingly thin. One wrong step, one stroke of bad luck, one unpaid debt, and your life was no longer your own. This hidden reality of Rome is a stark reminder of how fragile freedom can be. The stories are not just in history books, they're warnings. The lives of these people, their struggles, their hopes, deserve to be remembered. What part of this story shocked you the most? Let me know in the comments below. Sharing this video helps bring these lost voices to light. And if you want to uncover more of the dark secrets hidden in the past, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching.